Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So here today we will discuss like how we can construct the XPath. So basically, if you remember in the last session, so we saw the XPath practically, like theoretically we have covered. Like what is the XPath? Basically, XPath is nothing but a XML path language, okay? And with the help of XPath, it will help us to identify the different locators on the page. Okay, so for our learning purpose, we will use this site. Okay, and here today we will see how we can construct our XPath. Okay, so if you want to inspect one element, okay, you can right click and you can go to the inspect. Click on the inspect. Okay, so you can see here in the right side, it will show you the entire HTML page. Okay, you can see the whatever the controls that are present on this page, you can see in this HTML page. So basically, you can organize it in this page in this section. Like here, you can see one is element, then console, sources, network, performance, and there are different tabs which are present here. Okay, so basically whatever the HTML page, the actual page contains, that will come, all the HTML DOM will come in under this elements tab. So basically first we have to select this elements tab, and here in this three dots you can organize it. So basically if I will select this option, the HTML section will go to the left. If I will select the this option, it will come to the down, and if I'll select the right option, it will come to the right section. Okay, so I am a little bit comfortable with this right section, so that's why we will proceed with this one. Okay, so if there is another pointer, okay, this is the pointer. If you'll click here and if you hover on any of the element, you can see this is highlighting, and in the right side also it is highlighting which element that is. Okay, so basically this way we can identify which element, the respective HTML property of these different elements. Okay, so you can directly copy, like if I will show you, suppose this is one element, header. Okay, S2 means this is a header. So basically it is present inside this div property. Okay, so let us see how we can construct our XPath today. So basically, if you can hover, you can see in the left side, I am selecting this input type and it is selecting this input basically. Okay, let us see how we will construct the XPath. So if you will see, basically this first name, the tag name of this HTML is input. Okay, so basically we can say, since this is starting from input, so I can say it as input tag. Okay, and the input tag sorry, and along with the input there are other attributes as well. You can see type is equal to text. The type is an attribute and its value is text. Similarly, placeholder is an attribute and its value is first name. Similarly, class is also an attribute and the value is this one. Okay, and similarly the ng mode. Okay, so basically you can see here this tag basically contains different types of attributes. If you remember in the last session we have discussed our HTML node, so basically which was containing only one attribute, and that attribute was called language attribute. And here you can see this input tag in this input node basically contains so many different attributes, and we can identify this node using either the tag name or using a combination of tag name and attribute. Similarly, if you will see here, if you will go to this node, so you can see this is a node and the tag name is form. ID is an attribute, ng submit is also an attribute, and this class is also the attribute. and inside this tag there is one child which is called div also. Okay, and inside this div there is another node present that is called label, and of this label node it has only class attribute. Okay, so let us see how we will construct the XPath. So if you will see here, so basically if you remember how we will construct our XPath, so basically double slash, then the tag name, square bracket, @ attribute name equal to its value. This will be our XPath. Let us see. We will construct practically. So once you are present on this page, you can type Ctrl F or Command F. Okay, it will give you, like, it will help you to write your own XPath. Okay, let us see. I will type double slash. Okay, you can see this is highlighting the entire page. So basically this is highlighting the entire HTML. Then I will say which tag name I want to go. Suppose I will say head. Sorry. So you can see this head it has selected. Okay, let us come to this field and we will start from. So basically you can see this is head and there is one another sibling which is called body. Okay, let us move to this body. Okay, so basically in the body you can see it is highlighting the entire page, actually entire body. Okay, and then if I will come to his immediate child, I can go to this immediate child as header. Okay, you can see here and the count also you can see 1 of 1. It means total number of matched node is 1. Let us expand this header. So there is one div and one nav tag. Okay, let us go to the div. Okay, you can see we started our node from here and then we came to here its immediate child, then we came to its immediate child. Okay, let us come to its immediate child as well. Div. Okay, inside this there is another div. So you can see there are so many things present. So likewise you can travel from one node to, like, one parent node to its immediate child. Okay, and we will see we are present inside this div, then we will go to its immediate div. Okay, and then we will come to its immediate div, and then inside this div there is an anchor tag. Okay, anchor is basically used for link. So if there is some link present, so you can use the anchor tag. Let us use this one, A. This A tag is called anchor tag. Then from this A we can go to this image tag. This is one example, like we used this approach from, like, we travel from this parent node to this node, and then this node, then this node, then this div, then this div, and then A and this image tag. Okay, let me use double slash as well. You can see there is 1 of 1, and here also 1 of 1, here also 1 of 1. Okay, now you can see, so basically I am here, what I am doing, so basically I am not directly going to this tag. Okay, what I am doing, first I am going to the first parent of the page. Okay, and then I am going to its immediate child, then this node, 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 and this node. If I will show you in a simple way, like what I am doing. So basically, okay, so what we have done, so basically suppose there is a body tag we had, okay, and in the body tag there are suppose two siblings, and one of them is this div node. Inside this div node we are going to one of its immediate child, then from this node we are going to one of the immediate child, from here we are going to one of the immediate child, and then from here we are going to suppose the anchor tag is present, and from the anchor tag we are going to image tag. Okay, so basically we are touching each node from here, then from here, then from here, and likewise to this node. So basically here what we are doing, suppose I am present here this node, and if I want to go to this last node, okay, so what I am doing, I am touching the every node, this node, this node, this node, this node, this node, and this node. Okay, so basically this approach we call it as absolute XPath. Okay, so basically in the absolute XPath we are following the parent to child approach. Parent to child approach. Okay. Okay. So then what is the disadvantage of this approach? Suppose currently the our HTML page is like this. After 1 month, there are some changes happened on this page, and the developer what they did, they removed this tag. Everything is same. Now they removed this tag. But in our Xcode, what we are doing, we are going to this node, this node, this node. So all the nodes we are touching. But now, since this div is not present anymore, so there is we will get an error. When we will use this XPath, it will say that this XPath does not valid. Okay, so in this absolute XPath, we are hierarching every node, we are touching every node, and due to some reason, if in between there is a change in the node, then our existing XPath will not be valid. What I mean to say, suppose there is some, they have removed this tag. Okay, now actually it is present, but suppose they have removed some tag. I will go to, I will use single slash. Okay, we will see. You can see now I have removed one div, and now actually I am strictly following immediate child. Okay, so I have removed a div in between actually. Okay, now it is able to match the node. Suppose the developer has removed this node. Okay, then it will say, you can see here 0 of 0 node is available. Okay, so the XPath is not valid anymore, or due to some reason what they did, in this div they entered another node in between. Suppose the node is span tag. Okay, then our existing XPath will not work. because they have inserted another tag inside a new node. Due to this, our absolute XPath will not work. Okay, so then we will move to some other approach. Okay, we call it as relative XPath. Okay, in relative XPath, there is no need to touch all the nodes. Okay, where we will, in relative XPath, we will use our syntax, which we had discussed in the last session. And the syntax is, suppose / tag name, then @ attribute name equal to its value. Okay, like this. Actually, we will see in details now. Let us see how we can use the relative XPath. So basically, since we are going to this image tag, what I can do, I will remove everything. I will / then image. Okay, so you can see here, if I am typing like this, in the entire page there are total 9 nodes are present of the tag name is equal to image. Suppose we want to use this image. I want to identify this image. Okay, so what I can do, I can use its other properties. Okay, so I can see, I can use something like this. Suppose image not displaying, the attribute name is alt. Okay, you can see now only one element, 1 of 1. It means total number of found elements is 1, and we have selected this node only. Okay, so basically with this approach, what will happen, let us discuss. Okay, let us see. Suppose this is one node, this is another node, this is another node, this is another node, this is another node, and this one is another node. Suppose this is the image tag name, this is a span tag, this is div, this is also div, this is also div, this is also div. Okay, so if we are going in absolute XPath, so what I will write, div this node, and then I will go to this node, div, then I will go to the third node, then I will go to the fifth node, and from there I will select image tag. Okay, but in relative XPath, what will happen, I will directly tag image, and I can use the attribute. Suppose the attribute was currently in our case alt and some xyz value. Okay, so basically we call it as absolute XPath, and this is, we call it as relative XPath. Okay, let us discuss the advantages. Like 5, we will always go for this relative XPath. Suppose the developer has added one node to here. I will say, suppose anchor tag. Okay, so in that case, or I will say, suppose span. So what will happen? This will not work because here there is another tag I need to add. Suppose in my script I am using this XPath, okay, and I have used this XPath in 100 scripts or 100 test cases. Okay, then what will happen? Due to this change, this 100 test cases will fail, and I need to change this updated XPath. So basically what I will do, I will type this span here in between this node, so that this XPath, my XPath will work. Then I need to change this XPath in this 100 test cases. I'm giving you just example. Okay, let us say another person is using this XPath. So suppose, and this scenario happened, they have added this node in between, span node. So basically, if they have added, still this XPath is valid, because here I am not dependent on this node. In absolute XPath, basically I was touching every node, but in relative XPath, I don't dependent on any of this node, either this node or this node or this node, this node. Okay, on which node I am dependent? Only this node. Okay, so if due to some reason the developer has removed this node, still my XPath is valid. If they do some changes to this node, still my XPath is valid. If they did some change to this node also, my XPath is valid. Okay, so basically with this approach, we will make our XPath more stable. What does it mean by stable? It means less likely to change. There will be very less chances that this XPath will change. Unless there is a requirement. Unless suppose a new requirement came and they said suppose they need to change this image tag with another suppose anchor tag, then we need to change this XPath. But unless there is a requirement change, we will not touch this XPath. Like this XPath is very less likely to fail. Okay, so if we have two scenarios, okay, suppose someone says write a XPath for to identify this element, then you always prefer to write your relative XPath, because the advantage of this relative XPath is that this is more stable than your absolute XPath. Okay, and this is very likely to change very less, whereas your absolute XPath, the chances of change is very high in absolute XPath, whereas in relative XPath this is very less. Okay, so that is the reason why we should always opt for relative XPath. And the relative XPath syntax is, let me tell again, this will be the tag name and attribute name, it's equal to its value. You can use star also. Okay, let us come back. Now we see how we can identify this element using our relative XPath. Okay, so let us see. I will type. So basically, you can see here I have added this image tag to here. If I want to add star also, this is valid. Why this is star? Let us see. If I am clicking on this double star slash, so basically you can see it is selecting the entire page, and you can see there are total 794 nodes matching. Okay, if you want to be more specific, it means suppose I typed image. So basically what it will do, it will search this entire page and it will give you all those nodes whose tag name is image. Okay, and if you press star, it will search the entire page, every node basically. Okay, so then what I was doing, I just undo everything. Yeah. Okay, so basically our XPath, you can type your tag name or you can type star. Star means so basically your XPath does not have any restriction to the tag name. So basically suppose you have some div node and suppose this property is equal to this. So basically it will give you div node as well as image node. Basically we are not telling our XPath which tag name to search. If we are more specific to our tag name, then we can give our tag name. Okay, so basically tag name, if you are giving tag name, so basically we are telling to the XPath that search those nodes whose tag name is equal to ing. Okay, so now let us see. This is basically whatever till now, whatever we have seen, we traverse from parent to child. So basically we traverse, you can see in absolute XPath we travel from here to here, then here to here, then this node to this node. So basically we call it as parent to child. Okay, now we will see how we will move from child to parent. Okay, let us see. Suppose I am present in this image node, and you can see here from this image node the parent is A. I can go directly from this node to this node. Okay, let us see. So if I am giving anchor tag, you can see here there are total 97 number of nodes are present whose tag name is anchor A. So what I will do, I will use this attribute href equal to this one. I use this attribute. Now there is only one node found, correct? I want to go to its child. So what I can do, I will press immediate slash img. So basically this is the way how I am moving from parent node to child node. Now we will see the opposite one. I am using image, or I can use the double slash. Since there is only one child present, so that's why I can use either the single slash or double slash. Okay, so if I want to know, if I want to more specific, I want to go to its immediate child whose attribute alt equal to image node display. I can use this also. Okay, so basically this is the same. Basically this is the syntax of our XPath: tag name, attribute name, then the attribute value. Okay, so now I want to go from this child node to its parent node. Let us see how we will do it. I will remove this one. Okay, now you can see I am present in this node. So now from this node I will go to this parent. Let us see how we can do. So basically I will type the parent keyword. Okay, parent colon, then I will use the tag. What is the tag name? A. If you want to be more specific, suppose there are two parents present uh, uh, whose href are different. If you want to navigate, then I can use its attribute also. Let me remove this one. You can see now I have moved from this node, from this child node to its parent node. And if you want to be more specific on the parent node, then you can use any attribute name to the parent node. So now we have seen how we can move from parent to child and child to parent. Okay, so now let us discuss how we will move from to its ancestor or its descendant. Okay, let me clear everything. Okay. Okay, now you can see I am present in this image node. Just to give you one hint, suppose this is the node. This is our node tree. Okay, so basically, if I will consider this node, the immediate parent is this one. Its immediate parent is this one, and its immediate parent is this one. Its immediate parent is this one. So if I will say, suppose I am present in this node, and I am saying the parent. So basically, the parent is basically this node. So if I will say ancestor, who will be the ancestor? Its parent, its grandparent, its grand-grandparent, and its grand-grand-grandparent. So basically all the nodes above this node, I can tell them as ancestor. Let us see. So I am present in this node. So its ancestor can be this one, this one, this one, this one, this node as well as this node. So if I want to go to one of the ancestor node, so what I will do, I will type ancestor keyword. Okay. If I will press star, it will select all the ancestors. If I will press div, it will select all its parents whose tag name is equal to div. Okay. So basically, you can see this is the image. Uh, its parent is a, div, div, div. So basically, this is the parent, this is the grandparent, grand-grandparent, grand-grand-grandparent. Okay. So basically, suppose I want to go to its ancestor whose tag name is a. I can use a. So basically, you can see here this is the parent, but using the ancestor keyword also I am able to go to the parent node. Okay, suppose I want to move to this div, specifically to this div. So what I will do, if I will type div, so basically I am not sure to which div it is going, and I want to know. So basically it is going to the topmost div. Okay, but I want to go to this div. What I can do, I can use the one of the attribute class equal to row. Let us see. Now I am able to go to a specific ancestor node. Okay, so basically we have seen how we can move from one node to its ancestor and to any of the ancestor node. So basically what we have done, so basically when we are going to this, we are present in this node. Okay, and if we are using this ancestor, so basically it was going to its topmost div in our example. Okay, but suppose I want to go to this node, so in that case I can use the attribute. Okay, so I can say go to my ancestor node whose attribute value is this. Okay, similarly we will see descendant. So what are the descendant? So descendant are nothing but basically its child. Suppose I am present in this node. Okay, and all these nodes are descendant. This will be the child, this will be the grandchild, this will be also the child, this will be grandchild, this will be grand-grandchild. Okay, and if I want to go to this node, I will use the keyword called ancestor. Okay, then I will press double column and then I will specify the tag name which ancestor node I want to move. Let us see. Let us see. I will remove this one and I will say div. So basically we are present in this div. I want to go to its descendant node. Okay, let us see. I will press star. So basically you can see I was present here. So basically in the descendant star, it is selecting this node. but I want to go to this image tag. Basically I can say image is one of the descendant of this node. So what I can do, I will use the image node. Okay, so this is the way how we can traverse from parent to child, from child to parent, and for using also our ancestor keyword and descendant keyword. Okay, now we will see the sibling concept. I will move to here. Okay, you can see here, this is the div. Okay, and this is the sibling. This input is the sibling node, input node, and this label node is also one sibling. So basically these two nodes are sibling of each other. Okay, so suppose I want to go from this sibling to the next sibling. Okay, how we can do, let us see. Let us first identify this node. Input id is checkbox 1. So I will erase everything. I will type input id checkbox 1. Now you can see I currently am present in this node. Now I want to go to its immediate sibling. So what I can do, I will use following sibling keyword. Following sibling dot, just press start. You can see it went to the next sibling. But suppose you are that are some other siblings that are present here. Okay, so basically it will identify all the siblings. Basically if you want to go to some specific sibling, what you can do, you will use the tag name instead of star. I will use label. Okay, so this is the way how you can go from to this sibling. What is this following sibling? What we have done, so basically suppose this is the node and these are two siblings. So basically if I want to go from this node to this node, I use following sibling. If I want to go from this node to this node, I will use preceding sibling. Okay, so let us do that again. So I will say let's identify this node. Label equal to and class equal to checks. Let's use this one as well. And I will remove everything now. Okay, so you can see I am present in this node. I want to go to its previous sibling. So what I will do, I will type preceding sibling. Then I can use the tag name. I know the tag name input, so basically I can type the input tag. Okay, so this is like how we can traverse from parent to child, child to parent, using ancestor as well as descendant, and then we saw how we can travel from it to its sibling, like using the following sibling and also using the preceding sibling concept. Okay, now let us see few more concepts and then we will wind up. Okay, so let us see. There are some like frequently used fields which we generally use in our automation script. Let us come to this page. Okay, so you can see here these are the different fields. Let me refresh this page. Okay, you can see here these are the different menu items, and here there is one, the field name is full name, this is the address field, this is email address, phone, and all these things are present here. So you can see here this is the button. So if I will inspect, you can see here the tag name is button. Okay, if I will inspect this field, you can see here the tag name is input. So if I will inspect this one as well, this is also a button. Okay, let us inspect this field as well. This is tag name is input. Okay, and this is a radio button basically. What is a radio button? So radio button is nothing but it will allow the user to select one of the radio button only once. You cannot deselect a radio button. Okay, you can see here there are two radio buttons. If I am selecting here, I cannot deselect it. Okay, if I am selecting another radio button, this one is disappearing. So basically this is deselecting basically. So this is the radio button. If I will differentiate between what is a radio button and a checkbox, so you can see here in the checkbox I can select multiple checkboxes, but in the radio button this is not the case. Okay, let us inspect this radio button. You can see this is the radio button. The radio button tag name is input. Okay, let us inspect this checkbox. Okay, so you can see this is the checkbox basically, and the tag name is input. Okay, and this is one of the drop down. This is also a drop down. This is also a drop down, and the country is also a drop down. Date of birth is also a drop down. Let us inspect one of the drop down. You can see the tag name is select. Okay, let us inspect this drop down. Here the tag name is, so basically it is inside multi-select and the tag name is div. Okay, now let us inspect this button as well. The tag name is input. Okay, now let us inspect this one. This is label tag name. So basically what I want to differentiate it here is that, so basically if you will see here, this one, this one, this one, we call it as a label. Okay, label tag. This, if you want to, so basically this is a generic approach, like most likely the tag name of all these fields will be label. Okay, so if I will inspect this element and this element, this element, this element, this element, so basically these are the different input fields where the user enters something. Okay, and we saw here that the tag name is input. Okay, and this input tag is also same for radio button and checkbox. Okay, and also for a choose file button. Okay, and we have seen another tag for the drop down which is called select and multi-select. Whatever the multi-select we just see, okay, that was actually the tag was div. Okay, if I will summarize it, let us see. So I can see for a input field, okay, general the tag name is input. Okay, for radio button or checkbox. Okay, the tag name was also input. Okay, but for radio button, this is for radio button. The type attribute was radio. Here for checkbox, okay, the type attribute was checkbox. Okay, suppose there is one button. So the button tag name was button. Okay, and there were some label, like suppose this is one input field and we call it as suppose name. We call this one as this locator, and the locator, generally the tag name of this locator as label. Okay, and then there is another option we saw, like there is one file chooser. There was a button like this. Okay, this is not a button actually. If you will click on it, it will open a dialog box where you will give a path to one of the image. It will upload the image on the application. Okay, thus this button tag name was also input. Okay, but here this type of button tag name is button, but this type of button tag name is input. Okay, now there is one, suppose a link is present on the application. Link is something like one URL is there. If you will click on that URL, it will navigate, it will open up a new page, or it will navigate to you some other pages. That URL generally starts the tag name as anchor A. Okay, so these are the different most likely used fields in our day-to-day life. And one more thing, I forgot one, drop down. There are two types of drop downs. So for one, we have seen it starts from select tag, and another drop down is which is the tag name is div. Okay, so these are the most likely used fields in our day-to-day application. Okay, so let us see, let us move to some other things which we generally used. Okay, suppose there are two buttons present on one of the application. This is button 1 and another button is present, button 2. Okay, so and there are few input fields are present, input 1, input 2, input 3. Now I will say, let us find how many number of buttons that are present in this application. Okay, so basically the first task is find number of buttons on the page. What will be the XpathSo I can write double slash button, because we know Generally the tag name of this button are button. So if I will write this syntax, it will give me two buttons, two number of buttons that are present in the application. We will see in this application there are two buttons, one is submit and refresh. We will see whether this syntax is working or not. Okay, so in a similar fashion, if I will say find number of input field present in the application. Okay, so what I can do, I will write double slash input. So basically it will give me total 3 number, because this is the input field, this is the input field, this is the input field. In a similar way, using the XPath only, you can do most of your items. So basically it will tell you how many number of items that are present in your application. Let us see. We will move to our application. So you can see here there are two buttons present. If I will type double slash button, so basically you can see there are total 7 buttons is present. This is one button, this is another button. We will move. Okay, these are another button, and let me scroll up. Let me make it down. Okay. Okay, I will move to this one. You can see this is one button, ID equal to button 1, and there is another button, ID equal to submit button, and there is another button is also present. Okay, you can see this is another button. So if I will come here, if I will hover here, I think this is the button somewhere, it is highlighting. So now we will see attributes. Okay, so basically there are different types of attribute. One is ID, another one is class, another one is name. So these are the different, generally most likely, most frequently used attributes. One is placeholder. Okay, so there are different, there are many number of attributes basically which we can use in our XPath. Okay, and there will be class name, and we can use something like type, and there will be some role attribute. Okay, so there are many number of attributes. So basically if your ID is static, so there will be applications where you will see the ID will be changing frequently. If you reload the application, the ID will be changed. Suppose for the first time the ID is suppose XYZ, and if you reload the page, the same control ID will be changed to something ABC. So we call it as dynamic ID. Okay, so you use the ID if your ID is static. Okay, if your ID is dynamic, then it will be a little bit difficult for you to identify the control. Okay, in that case you can rely on either the name attribute or placeholder attribute or class name, type or role or any other attributes which is not changing. Okay, so we see that in case of radio button and checkbox, this was radio and it was something like checkbox. Okay, similarly the role also can vary depending upon the type of element which we are searching. Okay, so I think this is all about our XPath, and we will see how we will use. So basically today we have seen how we can identify the different element on the page based upon our customized XPath. why I'm saying customize XPath. So basically you can create like the tool will give, there are different tools available in the market which will give you the XPath. Okay, but here we are writing our own XPath. Okay, we are not relying on any third-party tools. Okay, so that's why I'm saying this is, we saw like how we can write our customized XPath, and we will use this XPath in our automation. Okay, so till now we have reached to this point, and maybe from tomorrow we will use this XPath to automate our application. Okay, I think that's all for today. So if you have liked the video, so please do like and subscribe the channel. That's all for today, and keep coding. Thank you.